Welcome back, show-offs.
Come join us as we take a deeper dive into all about our College Nationals weekend.
Let's go.
Another team that stood out to me so much was FSU.
It's funny with FSU. We weren't there Friday for prelims, so we watched things on video. So we got to see videos on Friday. I didn't understand their costume on video.
Really?
Like, I was like, I wonder what they're wearing. Like, I just couldn't read it. When I saw it in person, I was like, love it. Like, it was so different.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show that a lot of times you're there in person and everything is so different from what you're seeing in video. So people who are at home and they're watching the videos, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I honestly looked at the costume and I mean, I'm also a little older, so my vision is kind of, but I didn't read the costume. Like, I just couldn't understand what they were wearing. And it looked very like washed out. And when I saw it in person, I was like, oh my God, I love it. Like, I really liked the details. And I feel like if FSU does that a lot, they always have their colors on their costume. Like, I feel they do that.
I feel like a lot of teams do that in general, but I feel like FSU is definitely one of them. I know that like Ohio State's one of them too. I feel like Minnesota kind of goes back and forth. UCF, I know, really tries to stick to their colors as well. Obviously, depending on the kind of dance you're doing, sometimes the colors don't work.
Yeah.
But I kind of love that the teams do that.
Yeah, I do too.
That they like to match their school colors in some way.
Yeah, and definitely in Palm, they definitely do. You know,
because that's a lot more school spirit.
Yeah, so Palm, they definitely do, and game day, of course. But you know, some schools really try to stick to that in their jazz, and I like that FSU always does it. And I really, I enjoyed watching how they progressed from prelims to semifinals to finals. You know, they had their little stumbles in prelims, but they were strong enough to make it to semifinals, and they cleaned it up. They fixed their, you know, whatever needed to be fixed to then get it into finals. Another team that was memorable for me was Oklahoma. They did like a spoken word song. I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a song, but again, stood out to me. You know, the choreography, just the fact that they were using a spoken word and how well they danced to it, which that's not easy, by the way, to dance to that.
Yeah, I don't know if personally I could ever do that. I feel like that's a huge risk, but they pulled it off. They did.
And, you know, you have counts, but you really don't.
Right.
So it's not like if, you're singing a song and whatever, and you're dancing and you know it. That's hard. And I think that sometimes when teams take that kind of risk, they're not giving credit for it. Like, it's so much harder to dance to that than it is to dance to a song.
Well, and I think because people naturally have more of a connection to a song than they do to a spoken word.
Yes.
But yeah, that as a dancer, that's so hard.
Yeah.
And to coach that and clean that, props to you.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about Palm, which I think that we haven't really hit on. Palm is ridiculous.
I know. And the things that you see them doing,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The speed that they're doing these things.
They're not human.
No, and it's just
Like,
the fact that hit every motion, and you know, you see all the schools pretty much use the little white palms. It makes it stand out that much more that they're using those little white palms, so you see every little detail. So one little mistake, done. The fact that these dancers are turning with palms as fast as they are, again, people sit there and criticize. They're like, they don't hit high releves. I'm sorry.
There's so many other technical things.
Yes. You know what? I don't care who you are. To hit a high releve
when you're turning
so that fast, it's almost impossible. I don't agree with turning on a flat foot.
Correct.
That's completely wrong. But that a dancer can't make it to that high releve so quick, that's okay. I think that that's something that, as long as they're hitting the releve, they're not turning on their heel, but they're not making all the way to their top releve. You have these people that don't know dance, and then that's their comment. Dancers don't hit high releve.
I also think that when you're turning that fast, a high releve could also sometimes throw you off when you're turning that fast.
Yeah. And one thing is, if you're doing a quad or you're doing 5 turns or whatever, you need to be on that high releve. If you are a soloist and you're being highlighted, you better hit that releve. But when you have 20 dancers on that stage doing those fast turns, that there's like 17 turns in a 1E and a 2, and you just did 17 turns, those high releves are not going to make it all the way up. they need to go up. You cannot be turning on a flat foot. But please don't give me that comment of, oh, hit a high releve every time. You know, I want to see you do it.
I think I challenge you.
Yeah.
I think that there's also so many other technical things that we could look at and nitpick at, but the bottom line is what these kids are doing are insane.
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
yeah.
You're just finding something wrong.
Yes.
Like, just appreciate them for a minute.
And people are like, well, UDA wants you to do this, and UDA wants this. And UDA has no rule that says you have to have 20 turns. There's no rule. It doesn't even show that on the score sheet. The score sheet doesn't say turns.
Honestly, nobody's ever taken as big of a risk to just not put turns on the UDA stage.
I mean, it's...
to be honest, I would not want to be
that. And I don't either. And I will say I've had choreographers want me to do that. Ricky Ruiz...
You're crazy, guy.
Yeah. He's been like, let's do it, Santa. We could be the first team not to turn, and I'm not willing to take that risk.
Yeah, and I'm sure one day someone will come with that. I think that's a risk I don't want to take.
Yeah, I want a college to do it first.
Right.
I also believe, and I mean, I've seen it, we used to go and do like 75% of the dance was turns.
Right.
And that's what it used to be like. And it's not because UDA had that rule. It's because us as dancers or as coaches or choreographers put them all in there, and it was like, oh my God, this team won and had 60 turns. Okay, next year we're gonna have 70 turns. And so that just kind of became that way, and little by little we've gotten away from doing so many turns, doing more like a small section of turns and more dancing,
right,
which is such a great, it's a happy medium. And yeah, you're not, if you want to be a professional dancer, you're right. If I'm going to be backup dancing for Bad Bunny or for, Maluma or Pitbull.
I would love to see you backup dancing.
I would too. I'd be doing great. Yeah, you're not going to do turns. You're right. You're 100% right for those people who want to criticize all the time that, oh, these college dance teams, you don't need to turn because you're not going to do that later on in life. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know why? Because these dancers are enjoying being on this stage and in this platform and doing this, and they want to do it. And it might be the challenge that they enjoy. So let them be. Stop saying that they're not going to have to do it, that, dancers, stop making yourself crazy and learning how to do those turns because you don't really need it. Well, if you want to get on a college dance team, you kind of do need to do it because if not, they're not going to take you. But it's okay. We like it.
I also just don't find anything wrong with dancers having additional skills.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, whenever somebody criticizes things like dance team makes you dance really sharp, dance team makes you jump really high, dance team makes you turn too much. So, that's great.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's awesome. I would love to have, if I was a studio owner, I would
the more you have, the better. I want the dancer who can give me all those skills, all those tricks, yet could still move and dance.
Which is what I think a lot of these college teams are evolving to.
Yes.
They want the style, they want the technique, and they want all of the crazy things you can do and all of the turning.
Yeah, you want the wow factor.
You're right.
That's it. And these dance teams are giving us that wow factor. So don't criticize them.
And the reality is that dance team is very hot right now.
Yeah.
Dance team's on top of the world. This is where...
We love it. We love it.
I mean, there's nobody that loves it more than us.
Yeah.
But they're on top of the world. This is where, choreographers are dying to come out and choreograph on. Like, these are the... And we had Ricky Ubeda on this podcast, and he talked about how he would hire anybody that's been on a dance team.
Yeah.
Because he knows how hard they work and their kind of work ethic where, bringing them in from other places, sometimes they don't have that kind of work ethic.
Yeah.
It's very different. So this right now is where most dancers want to be. So let them be.
Yeah, let them be and let them enjoy it, because there's something to be said about being able to do your passion on a daily basis, which this is a passion for them. They love this. Also get to have their school spirit and have automatic friends. And that's what dance team does. And the memories that you make, because you guys have worked so hard from day 1 all the way to day 250 for this routine, the memories that you've made, the struggles, the sweat, the blood, the tears, the emotions, the challenges, everything you go through, it builds you. It builds character and it builds you as a person. And it brings people together that 10 years later, they're still friends. They're still talking about it. I know because we're going to college nationals with, friends of ours, and I see how like dancers from FSU that graduated 15 years ago from FSU are still coming to college nationals to watch the FSU dance team because they were a Golden Girl. They were on the team. They were part of that, and they want to be there supporting. They want to see where the team has gone. It's something that you will never lose. You will have that as part of you forever. So let these dancers enjoy it. Let them have their moment, and don't criticize them because they've chosen this route. Let them enjoy this route because this might be their last chance of dancing. Maybe, they don't want to be professional dancers later, or maybe the opportunity to be a professional dancer could be taken away from them at any moment. Don't take away from them the fact that they're doing this.
Well, and I love, like, at the time when I was in high school, college dance team, it was a thing, obviously, but, like, it wasn't something that was encouraged as much as it is now. It wasn't as open the way that it is now in terms of now you have all these options, you have all these clinics, you have all these things that you can do. It was a little bit, I don't want to say less known because, like, you took me to college nationals, but, like,
it was harder because everybody didn't have the money to go fly to all these colleges to see him, to audition, to go through the tryouts. You're right. It was a lot harder. And I give props to, I've said it before, to Carson Rowe for starting Tribe 99 because it's what got my dancers to go to these colleges and open their eyes to the opportunities they have.
But I love that, like, for me, I wanted to go to college. I wanted a college experience. I was not one of those people that wanted to go to Juilliard or to Pace or anything. Like, I didn't want to do that, but I would have loved to have continued dancing. And I would have loved to have continued being a part of a team because I loved being on a team. So for me, it's, something I definitely regret. But I love that dancers don't have to choose anymore. They don't have to choose between, do I want to go to college or do I want to dance? They can have both.
Yeah.
And they can continue. And then if they want to continue dancing from there, they can, and they can still get their education.
Yeah. And I love that UDA College Nationals has opened the eyes to people to see how incredible dance teams can be.
And I love taking my dancers. We're lucky because we have regionals the following day at ESPN. So, like, for us, we go up on Saturday. We rehearse in Orlando. We do a whole... we have an entire studio day there. We go to dinner. The following day, we sit, and at finals, we watch all the finals. From D1 team to D1A teams to the POM category, hip-hop category, jazz, everything. We watch it all day. And it's inspiring. Like, my kids love sitting there watching it, texting in our group chat, like, oh my God, did you see this team? Did you see that? Oh my God, did you see what they did? Oh, we could get inspo for this, for our routine. And look, this is kind of something that we wanted to do. So it, like, amps them up.
Yeah, many years ago I've been taking my kids to college nationals for years. You went when you were with me, but we would be there and we would get so inspired that in between sections we would run outside and we would go like, let's try that trick, let's try something like, and the kids would just like get so inspired to do the things that they were seeing these college kids do. So yes, I think that it is an inspiration for young kids, and seeing how packed that place is proves that they're doing something right, that everybody wants to be a part of that.
We should also talk about that.
I think we could take a few minutes to talk about what could still be worked on and be better at college nationals,
which I think
because there could be things.
I think they did better. Mm-hmm. Crowd control, much better. Was it enough? No.
I have a suggestion, and I know they're whatever. I'm a nobody, but that arena is humongous.
Yeah, I don't like that it's divided into the two stages.
And I know that they tried with having the big screen, which, by the way, I went to look at it, and wow, it was that big screen on the other side. It was incredible to watch the routines because it was bigger than what was on the side of the dance where the dances were happening. So yeah, that was really cool. But I just paid money to go in there to see it live. I don't want to watch it on a big screen.
Right.
I want to watch in person. And I will say I spent a big chunk of the time, my neck like this sideways, I had a pain in my neck because I was sitting on one of the side seats looking, I would look at the stage, but then I want to see it from the front. So I think, and again, there's logistics and nothing what I say really matters, but that stage could be pushed back. Take the warm-up area out of there. Make a tent in the back where you have the warm-up area. Back in the day when it was Indiana Jones, the warm-up stage was, 500 feet away from where the dance stage was. And you had to walk in rain, in cold weather, in whatever was happening, barefoot, whatever, to get to the dance floor. We used to do it, no problem. Colleges did it, high schools did it, middle schools did it. We didn't complain because we didn't know any better. Put a tent back there with a warm-up area.
Right.
Have the dancers warm up out there, and then use the entire arena.
Yeah, because clearly there's not enough room for spectators.
There is not enough room.
For me, there was areas that because I was sitting on the side high up, and I literally just saw routines from the side the entire time. And I would see from afar that there would be like rows and rows of seats empty, and I'd go to the section and the security guards wouldn't even allow us up there. And it was like, why? Like, there's other people there, and they were like, no, it's too full.
Yeah.
Not full, there's seats.
There's seats.
So there was people standing like in the areas trying to get into like in the stairwells, and security would kick them out.
Well, the people would say, I have a seat there, and they would let them through. So, what are you going to do? I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom? Yes, I have to be able to go to the bathroom. So, am I lying to you? Probably. I think that people were lying, saying that they had seats there. But
well, and then there was security guards, too, that we would see people saving seats.
Yeah.
And they would be like...
And you know what? It's understandable. You're going to save a seat or two. It's when people save an entire row. Like, the whole row is being saved for... people, and there's like 7-8 dancers going by and nobody sits on that row. So 1-2 seats, I get it, because they're gonna go to the bathroom or they're gonna go get food while we sit here, and that's understandable. And I looked it up. There's 8,000 seats in that arena.
I'm pretty sure there's the amount of people trying to get in there probably just about that number.
But there were seats on the floor, so there could be easily more than that. I think that if they would move that stage back and open up so more people could be on the sides, more seats on the floor, which the floor seats are horrible because you're eye level and the stage is, is pretty much the same eye level as you and everybody's heads, and then people with the phones and then the fans. So the floor seats are really not that great. But still, I'd rather be sitting on the floor than on the side with my neck sideways.
Yeah, you and your neck.
Yeah. But I think that it still needs to be better. I do think that it was a little bit better this year than last year.
It was worlds better.
Yeah. And I think, again, I know that whatever, they don't own ESPN, but there's a soccer tournament going on every single year.
Yeah, I just don't.
The parking is just crazy.
I mean, I take a bus, so I don't deal with the parking. But
no,
it's just also there's so many people in there.
It's crazy.
And then there's soccer people trying to get into the arena.
And it's funny because we rented an SUV because we were several people, so we were in one car, whatever. And once we got there, I was like, oh my God, I should have just Ubered. Why do I bother renting the car? Let me just Uber there. Would be so much easier. But then, getting an Uber back is a pain because Ubers are canceling because they can't get in because there's so much traffic, and it's just like one thing after another. The lines for the food were ridiculous.
Okay, I ridiculous. Will say there, when I got there, the first thing I needed was water, and those lines were insane. And when I got there, they weren't serving food.
Yeah,
they weren't.
They started serving later.
Right. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I guess I'll go to a water fountain. The water fountain I went to was broken.
No, and wait, and worse than that is that some things were open and they would sell you a cup to buy your soda. And
then they wouldn't let you get to
the soda machines weren't working yet. Like They didn't turn on until a certain time. And I'm like, I couldn't have coffee because I had to get here so early. I'm not having Diet Coke yet. I mean, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Coke. I need my Diet Coke. So that was a little stressful. And let's talk about having people getting there. They're called the Hunger Games, which I thought was hysterical.
Oh, that was crazy.
People getting there at 5:30, 6 in the morning.
And then running in.
And then the doors weren't open. So it's like, guys, you don't need to be there 5:30 in the morning. I mean, it's, you want to have a good seat, but what are you thinking?
I know. I was like, we're gonna get there at 7. Doors open at like 7:15. No, I got there. They had open doors like at 6 something.
Yeah, I got there. I think we got there at 8.
Yeah, you got there after me.
Yeah, and I still got to find a seat. I mean, it wasn't the best seat, but I still got to find a seat, and I still was able to watch the competition. The people getting there 5:30, that's just a little crazy. But that's dance for you. I think that things like that could still be fixed and be a little bit better. I don't know if the arena is bigger than where the castle is. I think that the State Farm,
apparently there's more seating, like stadium seating in the arena. But I think that the castle has more space to put more seats if they needed to.
If they need to. I think they're like.
But again, that whole concept of them having it pushed all the way back, you've never seen that. You've never seen that the castle packed with people to the point where nobody could sit.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, yes.
Maybe you're right.
Back in the day, people sat all on the floor. There were seats on the floor, and then people were they would let people sit on that. It was way different. That changed years ago, and I kind of miss that feel of being at nationals and having just thousands and thousands of people everywhere. So I think that they still need to do a little bit better.
I think
at
we've
managing
evolved.
that. Yes.
We've evolved.
Another thing that I noticed, and I mean, if you were there early on Sunday, it happened. Was it Sunday? Now I can't remember. Was it Saturday?
Yes, because
Sunday?
it was finals day.
So a lot of music issues, like weird noise right before the song started. The song started too low and then go up.
So it messed up a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's tough because if there's a music issue, they want you to keep going. But then if you keep going, you're messed up. So
there was a team that actually had to go on a second time.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I still think that they could be better about music issues. I know that we talked about it with Varsity when we had them here about
us playing the music, which I will say I had music issues at my regionals, and we play the music. And the first thing I told them was, I need you to pump that volume in the beginning.
And then they look at you like, okay, and they don't touch it.
It was literally like, and I'm like, really? That was a whisper. I just think it's so important that, first of all, judges understand when there's a music issue. What I have taught my team is if that music skips, don't move. Don't move. Because the second you start moving, that's it. We have to keep going.
Yep.
So I've taught them if it skips, stop. Don't move. But a lot of these teams, there's so much pressure. Like, you can't expect for them to just have a single brain cell and just know exactly what to do.
I still think that we could be better about them allowing us to send the music. We just did competition this past weekend, and I've done it with DTU, and that's one of the things I love about the DTU competition is you submit your music. And it's there. I mean, you don't have to worry about it.
Well, and I mean,
it's on you. If there's a mistake on the music, that's on you because you submitted.
And I liked at the competition we went to this weekend, we got to hear it. We got to just hear that. Okay, so okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, we're good to go. And you might not be able to listen to the entire song, but I listened to the first 5 seconds, making sure it's the right song, and then I uploaded the right thing. Okay, great, you were good.
Yep. And I know that UDA is 20 times what the regional competitions like DTU and what we just went to at FDC, what they are. It's 20 times. But there has to be a way, technology, come on, that we could do better.
Even on practice mat, it could be something that's, okay, you're on practice mat, they already have your music there.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I'm going to press play, and then that's your music.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, we just did that. We went for the UCF Showcase.
Yes.
Again, I know it's a smaller scale. If you go to UCF Showcase, they have your music for the practice mat. You get there, they play for you. So if there's a mistake, you're going to hear it in the practice mat. So by the time you get to the competition, that it's fixed. You're able to fix it.
Or at a minimum, you're going to have to bring in your backup, and you're going to have to press play at that point.
Yeah. So I think that that's something that, as a coach, I would appreciate taking that stress off of me and making it a little bit easier on me while I'm there. But then again, I'm not behind the scenes, so I can't tell you how much harder or easier any of that is. But yeah, I think that could be better. I also did not enjoy sitting in the audience with, I want to see dance, and then I'm watching the mascot competition.
Even though I love the mascot competition.
Yeah, no.
But I think that we need more division in the crowd.
Well, it messes with me in that I'm watching dance, and then it's a mascot, so it's like,
Well, and then I think on top of that, it also creates more of an audience in that moment. Like, I love that.
But I think mascot blends better with cheer.
Correct.
I think that it should be in a cheerleading competition setting where there's a cheerleading team and then there's a mascot. There's a cheerleading team and a mascot. It just flows better. It doesn't flow well in the dance. Now, I did enjoy, by the way, but then again, because I was a cheerleader, I did enjoy watching the co-ed cheerleading because it's just so impressive to see the things that they do and the stunts and the pyramids and the crazy. I mean, from when I was on cheerleading, when I coached cheerleading to now, how much has changed. But I did enjoy that. So I do love the fact that there was a dance and then a cheer thing because I got to see cheer happen. And it made me excited for, now when our nationals come, that's going to be exciting that I get to see cheer while I'm there. Not that I'm going to be able to see anything really because there's no time to see anything, but that cheerleading is there and I get to be a part of that.
I will say, in my opinion, I loved the structure of when it was hip hop. I got to see all of hip hop, and I got to see all these things. I got to see, LSU, UNLV, Cincinnati with their light up, and then UCF.
Oh, I love the Cincinnati with the light up.
So cool.
I thought that was so cool. I mean, you always try to find something innovative, and having the
and let me tell you, that's a risk because imagine if one of those things flickers.
And I only really got to pay attention in finals. Semifinals, it was at a bad seating and I couldn't see very well because people were blocking me. So I got to really see it in finals. And the fact that nobody messed that up, that was impressive. So great. Shout out to Cincinnati.
You guys did awesome.
Really, really good job.
But in my opinion, I loved that. I loved that back to back. And I mean, obviously, everybody's going to rush in to see the hip hop category. Everybody's going to rush in to see jazz. Everybody's going to rush in to see pop. But I felt like, for example, when they were alternating D1A and D1, there's obviously going to be a bigger crowd for all of those because it's not just you that's here to watch the D1A teams. It's also me that's here to watch the D1 teams. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it just creates a bigger crowd, which in the end also creates the problem of the crowd control. I understand why they do it, and I understand it's also a sharing the love kind of thing, and then sharing the support. But at the same time, I think that that's also part of the issue with the crowd control, which is why they ended up separating cheer and dance.
Yeah. And you know what? It sucks because as a dancer, you want that crowd. You want that arena packed. You want as many people in there to see you because that's what you're doing. You're there to perform. You're there to do things for an audience. So the more you have in there, the better, like the more energy you have because you're just feeding off of them. But I think that there's ways to make it more exciting. Like I would put cheerleading bouncing off with pom. Right. Because I think that they are similar, even though they're completely different. But if I'm a pom person, I appreciate cheerleading a lot more. If I'm a cheerleader, I appreciate the pom. So I think that that's a great balance. I think that if you're doing hip hop, you do the hip hop open, hip hop D1A, hip hop D1. Like you put those all together because you're seeing all these hip hop. And again, this is just us talking. It doesn't mean that that's, in the perfect world that it would work out because, maybe they only have these judges are the only ones that could do hip hop and they want them to be able to be consistent. They can't do all three back to back. But I think that trying to do that big layout would make more sense. And I think that that way your audience is everybody's there to watch the same thing, not the... Now, we're watching cheerleading. I don't care about cheerleading. I'm going to get up. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Now I come back. Oh, okay, I'm going to get up again. Like that back and forth.
That's I think, where it becomes. Because it's also, for example, sitting and watching jazz and then mascot in between. I'd watch jazz, be like, oh my gosh, okay, yay, D1A jazz. Then mascot. Okay, and then just like start doing something else. Like, when somebody who wants to watch mascot could be in my seat watching mascot. Yeah. So I understand, first of all, the concept of these dancers need a break in between. They need a second to get ready. They need to do all of that. But I think there's also, if this is going to continuously be a crowd control problem, I think that it's going to end up needing to be like separate them into just their category and then compare them each. Yeah. And I know that it also gives a break for the judges as well. So like that I completely understand too. But I think there's better ways for this schedule to be set up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and I will say, after looking at our national schedule, I'm sure when you looked at yours, you were like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. It was overwhelming.
I'm gonna have to give props out to people who put schedules together, because I have seen what it's like to put on a little competition schedule, and to see the puzzle that these national schedules are, and how confusing it could be, and how easy it is to make a mistake. I think that these people who put it together, they deserve a little shout out, because I know it's not easy. I know that it's easy to sit here and criticize and say, oh my God, you could do this and this, but I know it's not easy.
Well, and imagine, like, I feel like having time to put together like a prelim schedule in some ways could be easier than putting together a final schedule.
Yeah.
So finals day is so much shorter, so you have to give teams enough time to prepare, and then you have to do that within a couple hours. Like, that's really difficult too.
Yeah.
So
I'm stressing my nationals weekend, but I am gonna say, and I know we're talking about college, but I am gonna say quickly that I feel like I was heard. I feel like, I complained that last year I didn't have enough time, and even for my awards, not enough time. And I do feel like, maybe they didn't even listen to me. Maybe it just happened that way. But I'll make I'll feel better just thinking that, they listened to me. My national schedule is so much more bearable this year. Like, I really feel like my team is not going to be exhausted, and I'm not going to be sliced into 15 pieces, and I'm not going to have to be running around as much. I really do feel like my schedule flows. My dancers have enough time to get from one dance to the other. Last year, I had literally 30 minutes from when they got off stage to change and be ready for their warm-up. And this year, at no moment, even if I'm the last one to do this dance and the first one to do the next one, I have enough time to get ready.
Right.
I mean, I don't have all day, but it is, it's fine. I could do it.
They're clearly evolving.
Yes.
And they're not perfect.
And it might be because of the split weekend that they're able to do that. So if this is the outcome of the split weekend, then I'm not going to complain so much, because it makes more sense for my dancers to have enough time. They don't get injured. We're not stressed. We're able to breathe a moment. They're able to even grab a snack to be able to go on, where in the past we don't have that. We have to run.
Dancers don't eat all day.
No, they don't. So if this is the outcome, and this is the way to work out from now on, then the 2 weekends will work for me, and I will be happy that it happened. But if next year I go back to that craziness, I'm going to have to come back here and I'm going to have to complain again, all right?
Excuse me. Let's do our podcast again.
Yes. But before we close off, I just want to give a couple of shout outs to, some amazing teams. I know that we already talked about Ohio, we talked about Minnesota, and they're the obvious that, for Jazz and Palm, that they're always amazing. But Texas Tech really stood out to me this year.
Amazing. It's that they are underrated. People forget. Yeah. People forget, but they are so good.
They were so good.
That fourth in.
Yeah. And they
second.
They just stood out. Like, that palm routine, I was
amazing.
Wow. I can't imagine, what it took to get to that point. So amazing job to Texas Tech. And like I said before, Washington State, she took a risk with a musical theater, a school who's not like, so well known like Minnesota and LSU or, UNLV and these other schools, that she is up and coming, and she's, trying to get her team out there, and that she took the risk of doing a musical theater, and wow, it was so good. I can't say enough about it. It really was so memorable for me, and I love musical theater, so I think that, that does it also for me. UCF, that hip hop of theirs, I loved.
I know, it's like, when I think about, like, how could they outdo themselves last year, and they did.
They did. I loved it. They were just so strong, so powerful. What a powerful team. We got to see them at the showcase, and just watching them on the mat rehearsing their dances and how locked in they were. And I mean, the girls are just, so powerful, so strong. So big shout out to Joyce, because she's doing an amazing job, because that's Joyce. A newer team too. They've been around for a long time, but she's coming back and she's doing everything possible to bring that team back. There was just so many things. We talked about FSU, and I love their Jazz. I thought they did such a great job, and I'm so glad that they placed well.
Love their hip hop too. They were just all so great.
Yeah. Penn State, with all the issues that they went through this year, trying to get to nationals, and to see them there on that national floor. And again, people are going to criticize and say things and whatever, but, you know, they went through a lot to get to where they were. So, you know, shout out to those dancers for getting on that stage with the stress that they had to get there and still making it there and doing such an amazing job and standing out. Loved their song choice. Loved it.
Yes. Concept was cool.
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to forget anybody.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, we talked about them with their light up. So cool.
UM. We love our
yeah.
UM. You know, there was so many incredible teams. Again, even D1 teams. Weber, one of my favorites of the weekend.
Oh, Rutgers. I love Rutgers.
Cal State.
Yep. Alabama. Every year Alabama's just it's impressive to be there and to share dance and be able to see all these incredible teams and these college kids. Be better, guys. You know, and parents, teach your kids to be better. That, you know, when these dancers are out there and they make a mistake, not to put it out there on social media and not to talk about it, but instead to look at the positive and look at what incredible things these dancers are doing. As parents, as team members, as coaches, let's just make sure that we are putting positive out there. We might not be in agreement with all the winners and we might not be in agreement with the placing, but, you know, we're not being hired to be their judges. So, you know, we feel what we feel, but we should respect what the judges, you know, what they scored and what placed. And, you know, just, you know, you shout out your team and who your favorite is and you acknowledge them and you give them props. And sometimes that's a bigger deal, that you make that impact, that people remember you, that you know, you inspire dancers, that you inspire other teams, that you inspire coaches, that you're inspiring young kids to go into these teams and to be part of this. That's way more important than getting that first place trophy. So I know we all want to win, but you know, second place, third place, fourth place, 10th place, it doesn't matter. You're still making a difference, and we still think that you're amazing. So hope you enjoyed our episode of College Nationals. We don't put video clips here because I don't think that that's our place to show videos of other teams. I know that I don't like it when people show my videos and, you know, talk about my dances. So I don't feel like we should be doing that. I think that, you know, people put it out there. You want to see it, you could find it. Go to the different teams' pages. Follow them, see what they did. They all have their dances posted. Go to YouTube, you'll see their dances. And remember to give us more positive feedback. Talk to those, you know, teams and let those teams know what amazing things that they're doing. And let's stop being so negative.
And if you are a college team, keep kicking butt.
That's
we
right.
love watching you.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of B.A.Showoff with our College Nationals talk.
And if you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And if you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to click on the link here in our bio and fill out our Google form.
And we just want to give a shout out to Starbucks Medicine Ball, that it's what's helping us get through this past couple of days after College Nationals are, you know, being sick and not feeling well. If you're not feeling well, try that Medicine Ball because it's amazing.
They left us notes too. Stay well, reset. Get well soon.
Yeah. So thanks, Starbucks, for these incredible drinks. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week here on B.A.Showoff.
Bye, guys.